Hi, it's Wendy Hernandez, attorney and creator of Command the Courtroom. So, one of my viewers recently asked me a question that I thought would be a good one to address. And she has been involved with somebody for years that has been physically and emotionally abusive to her. And she wanted to leave the state and take the party's child with her. And she asked if she could just do that without letting the other parent know, because there was no court order in place saying that she couldn't do that. Now, you have to consult the laws of your jurisdiction. I say that in many of my videos because I don't know what the laws in your jurisdiction are. We have people watching as far out as Australia and Ireland. I don't know what those laws are, but my gut instinct tells me that even in cases where there's been violence, domestic violence, or emotional abuse, if the other parent has been involved with the life of the child to any extent, it's probably not a good idea just to take the child and run somewhere else. And it seems like that would be the easiest thing to do. In many situations, it probably would be the safest thing to do, the safest thing for the parent and the child. But in the long run, it could really cause some heartache for you and the child if the other parent who's left behind goes to court. One of the things that the judge looks at in making a decision about what's best for the child is whether one parent is more likely than the other to promote frequent and meaningful communication with the other parent. So in my mind, the act of just taking a child and leaving the state or leaving the country shows that that parent may not be the one who's more willing to promote frequent and meaningful communication. And there may be good reasons behind that. But that's one of the factors that the judge looks at. And I had a client, one of my first clients, who did that. He did it many years ago. And the judge really more than slapped his hand. I mean, she just smacked him down. And what the judge ended up doing was giving the other parent decision making and parenting time, more parenting time with the child. And every time my client returned to court to ask for anything for years, the judge slapped him down because she could never forget what he did, which was take the child. Now, the difference in that case was that there was not emotional abuse or physical violence, but it was this one person who just took unilateral action. Now, I say this so you can understand that there really are channels or the right steps that you can take to get or to ask the judge to do what you think is best for your child. And I know it's scary going to court because there's no guarantee what the judge is going to do. But if you don't want to get hammered and if you don't want to get punished for the rest of your child's minority years, then you really should look at the laws in your state and take the steps. File whatever needs to be filed or send the other party notice in the way that the statute says you need to give the other party notice. Now, even if paternity hasn't been established, because in some cases where two parties haven't been married and they share a child in common, the court hasn't made an order saying, hey, this dude's the dad. But if you've been treating that person as the father and that person's been involved as the father, then you're going to have a hard time. If you leave the state, that father files something in court and you're called to come back, you could be forced to come back at best. And at worst, you could have your child removed from your custody. So it's a difficult situation, I know. And the judge is going to look at a whole bunch of factors, but just take the right steps, please, because what we're talking about is the best interest of the child. And what's best is probably not to have the child removed from your custody, but you could be putting the judge in that position of ordering it if you make the judge think that you're not sharing decision making over this kid who belongs to two people. So remember to subscribe to the Command the Courtroom YouTube channel for updates every week, like our Facebook page, and go to commandthecourtroom.com to check out all the other information that I have to share as you go through your case. Don't give up, keep on trucking, and remember to command the courtroom.